Camelot 331 here, and I've got some crazy stuff for you today. Oh my God. We're going back to the basics. I worked in retail for 13 years, guys. 13 years. That's why I look like I'm 57 and I'm barely 30. That's the issue. It aged me. I'm dead inside. It takes every ounce of everything inside me to not step off the nearest damn cliff face first. But since I haven't done that yet, you get to enjoy the insane things that come out of my dumbass mouth. And those insane things are the worst absolute retail customers I've ever got in my entire damn life working retail. I've never told these. No one knows about these. And we're going ham as hell. I don't really know why I haven't talked about this yet, but we're going to go into it. And you're going to like it. And you're going to like the video and you're going to share it. That's a command. This is Canada. I command you. No, not really. I'm from Alabama. We don't do that here. But make sure you share the video. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe if you have not, damn it. I'm trying to do things, and you keeping me from doing the things. So let's jump right into the meaty sauce, baby. The meaty-ass sauce, which is how I prefer my chili and my spaghetti. 95% ground beef. Not even lean. I want all the beef. All the beef, because I can't provide that to you, because we only rocking a baby carrot. First story today, guys. First story is actually something that happened a lot, and it varied in degrees of severity. Sometimes it was real bad, and sometimes it was not real bad, but it's kind of minor. So when you're working in the gaming industry, which is apparently what Gamestop is, I disagree, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Is you have to sell M-rated games. M for mature. And you best damn believe every damn tiny ass kid comes in the store and like, please give me the worst game possible that I definitely can't buy without a parent. And I have to tell them no, which to be honest, I kind of enjoy telling kids no because I don't like them very much. There's a reason why I ain't got no kids in my ass. And by my ass, I mean my house that live with me that I spawned. The reason I haven't spawned any youngins is because I'd probably go Anakin on them. And I'd probably exterminate them. That's a joke, man. I gotta cut that one out for sure. But I don't like them. They ugly. They never wash their face after they drink Kool-Aid. They running everywhere and breaking shit. No, it's fine. But they'd come in and they'd ask for GTA. They'd be like, hey, can I get GTA 5, good sir? And I'd be like, oh, look, you're 7 years old. I'm definitely not giving you GTA because I'm going to get arrested and then fired at the same time. And then I'm going to go to jail and that guy's going to put his thumb deep inside me, which I sometimes prefer, but I feel like in jail he's like 7 foot tall and it's huge thumb. So I tell him no, all right? In this one specific instance, guys, usually the mom would come in and they'd be like, I'm sorry, I did not know. Well... About 30 minutes later, all right? Because, I have to tell the kid, hey, you bring your mother back, bring your father back, or your guardian, and be like, hey, I got to buy this game. It's fine, no big dealio. About 30 minutes passes, and he comes back, and I see this lady barreling, and I mean barreling like a damn barrel at a Donkey Kong, straight for the door, shaking the ground and shit. I was terrified, all right? The door was shaking, all right? The bounds of hell was opening up. She came barreling to the door, opened it, swinging it open, the sign flies off, because that's what happens sometimes, and comes to the counter, and I already know what's about to happen, boys, because I've dealt with this, but not to this degree, okay? I was terrified. She's tiny as hell, round, of course, but it's fine. She asked me right away, why did you not sell my kid this game? And I'm like, ma'am, it's rated mature. I'm not legally allowed, and now, granted, I don't know the legality of it. It might have been illegal. It might not. You can correct me in the comments. But I just always said it wasn't legal for me to do that. And by that, I mean it's against policy, and I definitely would be fired, which is the same thing as illegal, in my opinion. So I'm like, look, I can't sell it to him. It has some stuff in it, and it's rated mature. They have to be 17 or have a parent or guardian. So she's like, oh, so my kid has been in here several times. I've spent thousands of dollars in your store and you're going to deny my kid? And she's like, I've been in here. You've seen me before, which I'm going to be honest, I have not, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. I spend $2,000 in your store. You think I get any of that? You know how much money I get of that $2,000 you spent in my store? Zero. I get none of that shit. What the hell you think this is? I'm not the CEO working in Decatur, Alabama, all right, behind the register. Nah, I'm just a wagey, man. I want to die, and you're not helping me. And so she's mad because she's apparently spent all this money in the damn store, which I don't see. It's fine. And I'm like, look, all right, I apologize, but I do have to follow the rules. And she's huffy and puffy. And she's like, he's seen all of this on TV before. He has seen all this stuff on TV. It's not a big deal. You should just sell him the game. And I'm like, look, I can sell the game to you now, of course. But I gotta let you know, it is definitely not what he's seen on TV. So I begin to explain to her what is in GTA 5. Now, I gotta put this out there. Disclaimer, this is my favorite part. Because I get to say what's in GTA 5, and I get to see the life leave the lady's eyes when I tell her what's in the game. Because you know what they usually assume. Oh no, blood and violence. Oh no, one of the characters are going to say the S word. Maybe a little bit of the F word. Which he probably has seen on TV. Let's be honest. But, no, you best believe. I'm like, hey, yeah, so you see like a dude just railing this lady, Trevor. In the very beginning, there's a lot of sacks. And you get to record adult films with your own personal camera all the time. It's great. Boobies everywhere. It's going to be a really fun time for him. This lady's face goes white as hell, all right? It's like she was going to a meeting. That's how white her face got. And she's immediately like, oh my God, I didn't know that was in there. And I'm like, you best believe it's in there, girl. What the hell you think this is? Nah, it's just a cussing. It's rated M for a reason. It's got the M on the damn front and everything. Nah. Immediately, she turns to her little child, her little bastard. She tells him, oh, I'm not getting that for you. Kid loses his shit. He's freaking the hell out. He runs straight for the game wall and just puts his arm on it and just starts running and knocking them all off. So I look in horror as she's not stopping him doing it, because apparently, I could tell she's that kind of mother. It's fine, don't worry about it. Nothing wrong with letting your kid destroy a retail store. Trust me. And then they left. And I was like, oh my God, this lady was ready to fist fight my ass. And look, she's like 5'2". I'm pretty sure I could have won, but then I'd go to jail. I gotta let her beat me up because that's how society works and stuff. But it's whatever. But that happened more often than you would think in those stores. It's kind of mind-boggling. Parents buy their kids GTA even after I tell them there's boobies in it. But this next story actually makes me extremely mad, and I should have lost my job this day. To be honest, probably would have been better. Because I wouldn't want to die every waking moment. Because I'd only had like 9 years in retail instead of like half my damn life. So it'd probably been a positive. Probably could have started YouTube earlier. Clapped more hoes. That's a joke. I was married. It's all good. But no. So, as you know, at retail stores or anywhere really, you get returns, exchanges. It's an everyday thing. 20 times a day. No big deal. Sometimes people freak the hell out, which is also very, very normal. Sometimes it gets so bad you think you're going to die. Well, I was a store manager at Gamestop, obviously, for a long, long time. And for most of that time, my ASM was a small, tiny little girl. All right? Probably weighed like 95 pounds. Very smart girl. Very hardworking girl. But a lot of the times, people thought they could take advantage of her. One time I had a guy come in. All right? He had an Xbox, okay, that he had bought 6 months prior. Now, the policy goes, if it's opened and past 30 days, we can't do anything with it. It has to be still sealed to even get your return, like a refund. But that goes without saying. So this guy comes in, right? And I'm doing some marketing or something, which is when you put up signs and take down old signs. And he's asking, my ASM if he can return this Xbox that he bought 6 months ago. And he doesn't even have the receipt. So she's able to look it up, and she sees he bought it 6 months ago via the serial number. And as you would expect, it's like a 50-ish year old dude. He's quite unhinged. She says, she tells him, hey, we can't return this. It's been past 30 days, blah, 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 normal stuff. And it's opened anyway. And this dude immediately starts flying off the damn handle at her. And I don't know why people think they can yell at a smaller girl as if me over there ain't standing over there ready to throw the hell down. Because I get mad, and for some reason, I'm like protective over my associates like they're my children. And I don't really know why that works like that, but it did. And I don't, I'm like, don't you talk to my babies that way, which doesn't make any sense. But she's super shy and quiet, and he's trying to bully her into a return. I guess he didn't see me in the corner ready to throw the hell down. She starts choking up and not knowing what to say because, like I said, she's quiet and she's not used to getting yelled at, and she shouldn't have to be used to that, to be honest. But that's retail. That's just what it is. So I hear this from the side of the room, and I start jogging over there, which I didn't do very much, jog. I still don't do that today. I jog over to the register, and I tell her to go ahead and take a break, and I tell her to go in the back. All right? This dude comes over, this dude looks at me and starts trying to do the same thing to me. Not only does he call her a liar, which doesn't make any sense. What the hell is she lying about? He was saying that she was a liar for saying that it's been 6 months, which I can see the same damn screen. I know it's been 6 months, all right? I know it has, all right? So I'm like, look, dude, it's been 6 months. You ain't getting no damn money here. I was like, you need to leave, all right? That's like the first thing. You need to go ahead and leave, all right? This dude's Xbox was covered in roaches and dead stuff. And he thinks he's going to, like, if you put it on the counter, roach legs and bodies just come out the ass of it. Do I want roach legs in my life? I got enough roach legs, all right? I get enough roach legs when I go to McDonald's and get a damn McFlurry or whatever they're called. There's roach legs in it, all right? That's what gives it the spice is the roach legs, all right? So I don't need no more roach legs in my life. I tell this dude, your console's dirty as hell, you're dirty as hell, and you need to get the hell out of here before I carry you out of here. Because at this point, my blood's boiling, and I'm about to throw down. I got my fist and shit. I'm like, let's do this. Because I'm like ready to lose my job. And this was like 2014 or 2015. So I'd have saved me a lot of time and depression. I would have saved me a lot of time and depression. But he keeps yelling at the back room for the lady to come out, calling her like the B word and stuff over and over. So I go around the counter, right? And I get in this dude's face, and he was shorter than me, so it was less intimidating. And I get in this dude's face, and I'm like, look, you're going to get out of the store, and we're carrying you out. And he keeps backing up and telling me, like, daring me to come closer. He's like, you won't get any closer to me. And he backs up, and he keeps going until he gets to the door. And he's like, you won't follow me outside. I know you won't. And I was like, bet. And he opens the door and walks out to the sidewalk. And I walk my happy ass out there with him. And I'm like, you. And he's like, I bet you won't walk off the sidewalk. And he walks off the sidewalk. And I walk right into, I'm like, what's up? I'm not afraid of this little tiny scary man. And then he's like, I bet you won't follow me in my car. And I was like, dude, are you serious? You serious? What are you doing right now? Like, what is this game? Do I have to follow you to your house next? I bet you won't follow me to my house. I bet you won't bang my wife. What the hell? Where does this end? I bet you won't help me move my stuff to another state without being paid. Nah, dude. And that kind of thing happened a lot. You know how many times people threaten to come back and kill my ass because of a return? Oh, sorry, man. I won't return your NCAA. And he's like, all right, I'll be back to kill you later. And I'm like, what does that have to do with NCAA? All right, where is the murder? Is there murder? I've never played the murder portion of NCAA football. Didn't know there was any murder in it, but apparently there's a new mode called Murder Cody's Ass, because I've never heard of that shit. But no, that was the first thing. That happened every damn day. Another great example of this is my next story. What happens in this story is pretty insane. It actually has a lot to do with the previous one, but I had a guy that came in one time. Something that has happened in the past, because, you know, it's retail. You see a lot of the same stuff. But the severity of it was insane. So a guy comes in, right? And he gets all this stuff. Like, he's going to spend like $680. And he's all boasting about how he's going to spend so much money. Oh, I'm about to make you guys so much money. I'm about to make you guys so much money. I want that Xbox. I want the new Call of Duty. I want all this stuff. I'm about to make you guys so much money. And I just want to, like, reiterate to the guy, you ain't going to make me no money. You're making GameStop money. I'm making $0 right now. I'm making like $16 an hour, maybe, if I'm lucky, depending on the year. All right? But nah, he's like, dude, I'm going to make you so much money. And I'm like, whatever. So I'm scanning this stuff, you know, and, you know, doing what I need to do. And you can tell the guy, you know, the guy was kind of unhinged. He keeps talking about how he knows the executives at GameStop. Oh, I know the guy that owns GameStop. Oh, I know the guy that owns GameStop. Yeah, I actually talked to the guy that owns GameStop a lot. And I just didn't have the heart to tell the guy that was, you know, publicly owned, but it's fine. I didn't have the heart to tell the guy that it was a corporation, but it's fine. So, Anyways, he keeps going on and going on, and when it comes time to pay, he attempts to give me a credit card number. Okay, anybody that has worked retail in your entire life, and I hope to God you have not, but if you have, that's probably why you're watching this. He didn't have his credit card on him. He wanted to just give me the number. And you know right away that's a no-no. You can't do that kind of stuff. I have to have the card physically. This dude switches to knowing the owner of GameStop to wanting to kill me immediately, right? He starts yelling and screaming and slamming his fist on the damn counter like a damn giant gorilla or something. He, of course, does the normal spiel where he's like, I've spent so much money with your company and you're going to treat me like this. Again, I've never seen the man before in my life, but it's fine. Apparently, if you spend enough money at a store, you're just supposed to get your balls licked the whole time you're there. And even though I am into that kind of, depending on if you have bathed recently, I ain't gonna do it. All right, he smelled pretty bad anyway. So obviously, when the guy starts yelling, I have no chill. You know, it's been a couple years. I have no chill. I tell the guy to get the hell out of my store. I'm like, dude, you need to come back with a credit card, debit card, or else I can't sell the stuff to you. And I was like, look, I'll hold it for you behind the counter, but you're gonna have to come back. The dude storms out. He knocks over my damn standee of like Michael Jordan or whoever the hell it was, Shaq. They sent us a giant Shaq standee that we used to scare each other with. He knocks it over because he's a badass apparently, and he storms out. All good. And in these situations, I don't think the dude's coming back, right? Well, about an hour later rolls around. The dude storms back into the store, and I'm like, all right, cool. He has a debit card, right? Nah, he comes back in with a receipt that just has his debit card written on it, apparently. And the name was like a woman's name. It wasn't even him, obviously, unless his name was like Amber, but I don't think it was. And he hands me a receipt with a damn, and I'm like, sir, and I already know, I'm like, oh, damn, here we go again, because I got to tell this crazy ass dude I can't take this garbage. And I'm like, look, I was like, oh, you're back. And I was like, he hands me a receipt, and he's like, that's my credit card. And I was like, sir, I have to physically have the credit card, like the actual credit card and your ID for this transaction. So immediately the guy starts yelling at me again, saying that's his credit card, and I'm discriminating for some reason. I don't know. It was like a short, white, bald dude, but apparently I was discriminating against short, white, bald dudes, which I don't really like short, white, bald dudes, so maybe I was... Maybe I was discriminating. Get the hell out of here, you short little white bald. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's a joke, obviously. Can you hear my tone? I hope you recognize. I really honestly don't like bald people, though. All right, enough with that stupid joke. But he becomes absolutely belligerent. And, of course, he eventually storms out again. You want to know the plot twist of this story? I get a call from my district manager about an hour later. My district manager, by the way, had absolutely no spine at all. He would roll over backwards for customers. My district manager calls me and tells me to run his credit card manually without having his credit card, which is extremely against policy. And you best believe, all right, if I would have ran that card and got in trouble for it by like my regional, I'd have been fired. And my district manager wouldn't have got in trouble. But, I was an impressionable dumbass. So I went ahead and this dude came back in with the smuggest look on his face I've ever seen. And I have to give him this stuff with a manual credit card. And I was so angry. It got to the point later on in my career where my district manager would ask me to do that stuff. And I'd tell him no. I'd be like, nah, dude. Nah, I'm not doing that. And he would be like, all right. So... But that was one that got me pretty heated for reals. But this next story, though, this is one I think about every night when I'm asleep. And by asleep, I mean when I'm staring at the ceiling, wishing I could sleep, but the terrible stress and anxiety of living everyday life and continuing in this monotonous world we call hell keeps me awake. What was I talking about? No. So, yeah, let's jump into the next one. This is the one. So... the PS5 exists, right? And by PS5, I mean the PS4 exists, right? When the PS4 came out, we had a long waiting list. Now, first, we had people pre-ordering the PS4. Those are the people that took initiative to get their PS4. And then we had a waiting list that had like 200 names on it. 200 damn names, all right? I had this guy call me. And he's like, hey, can I reserve a PlayStation 4? And I'm like, we actually are sold out of PlayStation 4s. They sold out in the first 2 seconds with the pre-orders, but we can put you on a waiting list. And I want to recognize something. He called me the first day of waiting list. He could have been the first person on it, or at least the first 5. And he was like, oh, no, thank you. I'll call back later. And I was like, all right, it's free to be on the waiting list, but whatever. And this dude would call back once a week, and it was about a month out. And he never wanted to be on the waiting list, and he was just looking around. Well, time rolls around, okay, and the PlayStation 4 comes out. This guy calls me on release day asking if I got any extra. And I was like, yeah, I got, I think I got like 30 extra or something. I can't really remember. But of course, I had to call the people on the waiting list to make sure that I got everybody covered, which I did. So I had no extra ones. This guy starts flipping out on the phone because he's like, I've been calling for weeks and weeks and you don't have one. You're not going to have one for me. And I'm like, no, I asked you to be on the waiting list. I literally told the guy, I was like, I asked you to be on the waiting list, man. I told you I could have saved your life, but you didn't care. All right. You didn't care at all. And he starts calling me a stupid ass, and I don't know how to do my job, which, wow, I don't know how that makes sense. It sounded like an older guy, but I don't really know for sure. And he hangs up on me, okay? He calls me back like 10 minutes later, asking to speak to my boss. Shocking, I am the boss, but it's fine. And then he hangs up on me again, and then he tries to call my district manager. My district manager calls me, and he's like, hey, who is this guy that's freaking out? And I'm like, oh, it's a guy that just never got on the waiting list, and now he wants a free PlayStation 5. Or he wants to buy a PlayStation 4. And he's like, well, there's nothing we can do. And I was like, yes, there is literally nothing we can do. Well, I thought it was over at that point. No, we're selling PS4s all day, right? And when the release happens, and this little tiny guy, and I don't know why it's always a short guy, but he comes in, and he is belligerent, wanting me to go in the back and get him a PS4. He's like, I know you have PlayStation 4s. I want you to get me a PlayStation 4. He's like, I'm buying one. And I'm like, we don't have any. I'm sorry. We quite literally do not have any. And this dude tries to go in my back room, which is not locked, which it's supposed to be, but my GameStop was a converted Rhino video game, so there was no lock on the back door, and GameStop never fixed it because they don't actually care. And he's trying to go in the back, and I'm having to go, like, get in front of him, and this dude forces his way into the back and is looking through stuff, and I'm like, dude, I'm about to have to carry your ass out of here. And I put my hands up and use my body to kind of like force him out, because I'm not going to touch the dude. And I use my body to force him out. I'm waiting for him to hit me in the face or something. But I shuffle him out, all right? And he storms like halfway out of the store. Then he says he's going home to get his 12 gauge to come back and shoot me in the face. Now, he didn't say in the face, but I'm pretty sure my face might get hit, so I'm just saying that for, extreme purposes. Dramatization. He said he was going to go home and get a 12 gauge. So he leaves. And of course, my boy, my thoughts are like, I guess I should call the police. So I call the police, and I'm like, hey, can I get a patrol car to just hang out here? Because the guy just said he's going to come back and kill me because I won't give him a PS4. Which to me is a kind of dumb reason to shoot somebody. Hey, I want a PS4 real bad. He obviously wanted it real bad, but not enough to get on the waiting list, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. So this dude says he's going to come back. I get a police car out there. They're sitting right in front of the store. The dude actually comes back and gets out of his car, but he doesn't have any guns on him, luckily. And it starts yelling at the cop that I won't sell him a PS4. And I don't understand why people think cops have the authority to make me sell him a PS4. But the cop just kind of starts talking to him, and he talks to me, and he's like, so what's going on? And I have to tell him the story. And the guy yelling at me through the glass, and the cop is like, hey, can I look in your car? And the guy doesn't want him to let him look in his car, but he ends up looking in his car anyway. Actually does find a 12 gauge shotgun that's not even registered or anything, that he's not supposed to be carrying. The guy has prior warrants out for his arrest already. The dude gets taken. 5 cop cars show up, and this is on the PlayStation 4 release night. 4 or 5 cop cars show up, and this dude's just sitting there in the back of a cop car. And I was thinking to myself, you could have literally done none of this, and now you're going to jail. What in the Sam hell were you thinking? All over a PlayStation 4. It's pretty obvious why he had prior convictions. But no, I honestly thought I was going to get shot in the face that night. Probably would have been a better outcome to my life. But unfortunately, I lived and had to work at GameStop a couple more years. But that was one of the most devastating stories of a customer that I can even think of, because I 100% thought he was going to kill my ass. At the time, it seemed scary. I guess it doesn't really now. It's kind of funny. You know, I've been robbed several times working at retail stores, but that one takes the damn cake. 12 gauge shotgun blow my face off guy. That's the guy. What do you think? Look, I need you guys to do something for me. Go down in the comments and tell me your worst customer story of all time. And I'll heart the best one, and I'll even comment, and I might write something sassy. It'll be a great time to be alive. Follow me on Instagram. It's in the damn description. Like, share, subscribe, and all that mess. And until next time, get the hell on it. Doggone it. Bye. Yeah. Oh. It's actually tap water, and I just refill it because I'm a heathen.